You are not imagining it. Time really is speeding up. Ask anyone over 40. Every one of them says the same sentence. Now think back to a single summer when you were 8. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. It was practically a geological era. The years are going faster. And they are right. Here is the arithmetic that starts it. When you are 5, 1 year is 20% of everything you have ever lived. When you are 50, that same year is 2%. Same year, 10 times smaller. 7 reasons your brain does this. Count how many you recognize. None of them are what people usually say. It is not that you are busier. Children are busy too. And it is not memory getting worse. That is a different thing entirely. Number 1, the proportion problem. A French philosopher wrote this down in 1877. Argued, we judge a stretch of time against the total we have already lived. A summer at 7 feels enormous because there is almost nothing to compare it to. Put real numbers on it. At 10 years old, a year is 1/10 of your life. At 40, the same year is 1/40th. To feel what a 10-year-old feels, a 40-year-old would need a 4-year-long year. A summer at 40 is one slice in a very thick book. By that logic, half of your felt life is over before you turn 20. It is a neat theory. It is also not enough, because proportion cannot explain why 1 week can feel longer than a year. A week of something new can leave more behind than an entire ordinary year. Proportion says that is impossible. Everyone reading this knows it is not. So proportion is real, but it is only the floor of the effect. Number 2, you do not measure time, you count memories. Ask yourself how long last month was. You cannot feel it directly. So your brain does something else. It counts what it stored. Researchers split this into 2 completely different questions. How long is this taking right now? And how long was that when you look back? The first one runs on attention. The second one runs on memory. And they can give you opposite answers about the exact same week. A boring meeting is the clean example. It crawls while you sit in it. A week later, you cannot recall a single minute of it. Long in the moment, 0 in memory, both are true. Lots of new memories, and the period feels long. Almost none, and it collapses into nothing. Now think about what your brain actually stores. Only what is new. Novelty is the trigger. Your first day at a job is stored in detail. Your 400th is not stored at all. Number 3, the holiday paradox. A week somewhere new goes by in a flash while you are living it. Then you look back and it feels like a month. Ordinary weeks do the exact opposite. They drag while you are in them and vanish when you look back, which means there are 2 different clocks. One for living, one for remembering. They rarely agree. This is why a fortnight abroad can feel like a season, and a fortnight at a desk feels like nothing. And it explains a very ordinary experience, weekends disappearing. 2 days of the same rest every week produce almost nothing to store. Number 4, routine deletes time. Think of your drive to work. Now try to remember a specific one from last year. You cannot, and that is not a memory problem. It is efficiency. A brain that stored every identical morning would drown in copies. So it keeps one template and throws the rest away. 10 years of the same commute can leave almost nothing behind. And a decade with nothing in it feels, in hindsight, like it barely happened. Number 5, almost everything you remember happened in one narrow window. Ask an 80-year-old for their most vivid memories. Most of them will land between the ages of 15 and 25. Psychologists call it the reminiscence bump, and it shows up in every country tested. The reason is simple. That decade is stuffed with things happening for the first time. First job, first move, first love, first loss. After it, firsts get rare, and the marks stop being made. Number 6, your body has a pacemaker for time and it drifts. Warm your body up, and your sense of time speeds up with it. People with a fever consistently overestimate how long a minute lasted. Ask people of different ages to sit still and tell you when 3 minutes have passed. Younger people land close. Older people call it early, sometimes by a long way. Their internal count is running slow, so the real clock overtakes them. Which means the acceleration is not only a story about memory. Part of it is chemistry. Dopamine does the same thing in the other direction, and dopamine levels fall steadily as you age. A slower internal clock means the outside world appears to move faster. Number 7, fear can stretch a second but not the way you think. A neuroscientist dropped volunteers backwards from a height to test it. Every one of them said the fall lasted longer than it did. But during the fall, their perception was completely normal. The stretching happened afterwards, in memory. Because terror writes everything down, which is the whole rule of this video, in one line. Density of memory is duration, nothing else is. So can you slow it down? Yes, and not with anything expensive. Every rule above points at the same lever. Make more firsts. Take a different route home. It sounds trivial and it is measurable. Psychologists have a name for the days that anchor memory. Temporal landmarks. Birthdays, moves, first days, the start of anything. Your brain hangs everything else on them. So make more of them on purpose, rather than waiting for life to hand them out. The strongest ones are the cheapest. A place you have never been. A skill you are bad at. Even eating something unfamiliar leaves a mark. And a Tuesday that leaves a mark is a longer Tuesday. Learn something badly. Beginners store far more than experts. Write 3 lines at the end of each day. Not a diary, just what was different. People who do it consistently report their months feeling longer, not shorter. And put the phone down at the moment you would normally lift it. Every photograph you do not take is a memory you actually keep. Go places you have never been, even small ones. And put your attention on the thing you are doing. Because attention is what decides whether a moment is recorded at all. Here is the number to leave with. If you are 30 and you follow arithmetic, most of your felt life is already behind you. That is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to break the pattern. And there is one more thing worth saying, because the arithmetic can sound bleak. Duration is not the same as value. A short year can be the best one you have, but an empty one is genuinely lost, and that is the part you can change. Nobody remembers the year they were comfortable. The years are not actually shorter, they are just emptier. Fill one and watch how long it gets. How many of the 7 did you recognize? Tell me below.